Wait, do it again. Do it again. Shane, do that again. It's the Sports Nutz, y'all.
The Sportz Nutz are back.
You are now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to your favorite sports talk show. It is the Sportz Nutz. We are extremely excited to be back with you all. Hey, special shout out to everybody tuning in on TigerNation.live, 95.5 KFCE, and the other 10 radio stations we also air on. And let's also give a special shout out to our international listeners. Y'all, it truly means the world to us. And also want to give a special, huge thank you to our sponsor, Kalama's Cuisine. If you are interested in someone catering to a family outing, corporate event, and you live on Oahu, send me a message, and we'll get you in touch with our good friend Bobby at Kalama's Cuisine. All right, so first off, Shane, can you believe we've officially made it to 240 episodes now? If I had to do the math, though, honestly, it would be more like 280 because, we did the training days, the sports shorts, all that kind of stuff. But, man, how does it feel to know that we are on the precedence of, ironically, 250 on America's 250th birthday year? What does that mean to you knowing that we have done this for 240 official episodes?
Hey man, it seems like just yesterday, to be honest. But man, it's once you start getting up there in these numbers, milestones hit a little bit different, and the hit 250 on America's 250 year, it just seems like that was a destiny that was meant for the Sportz Nutz and everybody out there. So definitely, monumental, and looking forward to, a few more good episodes for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still can't believe that we started this journey so long ago, and here we are. Now, like I said, folks, if we had to do the math, it's like 280 because we had so many other things that have added on to us. But officially, 240 episodes. I mean, that's pretty amazing. The fact that we have such an amazing following and amazing fans, it really does mean the world to us. So tonight, y'all, we have some pretty thoughtful and engaging discussion points. We are talking about your top 5 college football rivalries and their chants/intros, and especially only just for college football. Who created the greatest defensive team in college football? No, it is not Tennessee's 1938 team. Now, it was close. They were that was definitely one of the better teams you'll ever tune into, but the team we're talking about is actually alarming. Who are considered some of the biggest NBA, quote, stars who haven't panned out in the league or are considered bust? Give me your top 4. And the NHL is officially expanding. Where are your thoughts, though? Where though are they also looking? Gonna catch you on that one. But Shay, man, it's always good to see you. Happy Friday. You made it, as you like to say. Now the hard part is over with us. Let's get to the weekend. How are you doing, man?
Oh man, doing good. I don't know if necessarily with what I got lined up this weekend, the hard part's over with. Got a lot of yard work trying to get done, especially before this rain kind of comes in and makes it all humid up here. But other than that, man, great week at work. Great weather. I can't complain too much. I know other people can, and even if I did, I don't think anybody listened to me anyway.
I'm complaining. It's hotter than blue blazes outside. Oh man, yeah, it's definitely been a scorcher to say the least. We took the kids out to Unity Park today in Greenville, and Eastland had a play date with a classmate of hers, and we thankfully, they have trees, and the trees created an amazing shade. So it was actually decent under there. And then we moved away from the park part to go to the splash pad that they have there. And we sat under a canopy. And I mean, dude, literally I stick my hand out yay far, and it's hotter than blue blazes come out. And it actually feels like 10, maybe 12 degrees cooler under the shade. So it was definitely a miserable heat, and it's only going to get worse. They said by this time next week here in the upstate of South Carolina, it'll be a minimum of 100 degrees, but they said it can be between 100 and 105, but the heat index could be upwards of 110. So just telling you folks, that means it's HOT, hot. It's going to be hot. Man, we hope you guys, though, are staying safe. As you mentioned, it's going to be hot. So let's dive into it. Now, college football rivalries, they just hit differently. There's some really good rivalries between schools, and some of them have the best ways to, quote, celebrate their rivals. So it got me wondering, what is everyone's favorite rival in college football? And I want you to give me your top 5. Now, the reason why I mentioned this one is because, first off, the rivalry between Pitt and West Virginia, that's insane. That rival is crazy. I'm not going to say what they say, but Shane knows this very well with the chant. When they're singing Sweet Caroline, we'll just go there one. But then, I mean, there are just an abundant, the Harvard, Yale. There's so many good ones out there. Shane, give me your top 5.
Okay, well, I went down through and I looked at some of these on a couple lists, in researching and man, some of these games, I really didn't think about until they kind of all popped up there for me researching. But I compiled a list of 5 good ones that I think are kind of the most important to college football itself. And the first rivalry that we're going to talk about is the game, Ohio State, Michigan. That's probably one of the most storied rivalries that you'll see in college football, and one that brings a great game every year. Of course, when we talk about rivalries, every game is normally great because going into that game, no matter what your records are, you're 0-0 playing each other.
Yep.
And that's how the kids feel about it. But definitely, probably the biggest one is the game there with Ohio State and Michigan. My next ever rivalry game is, one for everybody. It is America's game. Army Navy, the go Army beat Navy, the go Navy beat Army, the exchange that happens pregame from where so many students spend a semester on each other's campus and kind of learn the culture. It's definitely a game for America, and that's why it's on its own separate week. And so that way everybody can enjoy it. Those games end up great too. And here lately, it's been the uniform champion of the year,
Yes,
I think.
Absolutely. I was hoping you were going to say that.
So,
to be honest, though, Shane, everybody wants to look forward to those. You look forward to seeing those uniforms. You and I, and Folks, Shane will
Yeah.
even tell you we look forward to seeing those helmets too. Those were that's Ultrafly.
Oh yeah, well, and I've got a family connection with my cousin being a graduate there from the Naval Academy. So, so definitely, I'm a little biased one way, but they both do great on their uniforms and helmets, and just the game in general. My next rivalry is one that you mentioned, just because it is the most hateful rivalry in college football, I believe, and that's going to be the backyard brawl. Pitt in West Virginia. It's just hate. That's
Literal hate.
That's about all you can say with that game. But there's been some good ones, and of course you get the song chants and everything, but then you get the couch burning and stuff from the other side as well. And the next rivalry I want to talk about, not just because of but is a great.
It's on his hat.
No, that's not on my hat. It's not just about the name of this game, but it's also one of the greatest moments that we see talent on the field playing each other in a rivalry game. And that's going to be the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Between Florida and Georgia. It's a pretty heated rivalry as well. It's a great game. I remember when CBS and Brent Musburger and them, they did it every year. It was just one of those kind of traditions, like the Masters or Musburger at the Rose Bowl. It's just kind of one of those things that you got used to seeing. And normally both teams are good and have plenty of talent out there for everybody to watch. So that's one rivalry I wanted to go ahead and put in there. And my last rivalry, I believe that deserves a mention is the Red River rivalry.
Yes.
You've got Texas versus Oklahoma there in Dallas on the fairgrounds at the Cotton Bowl. They split the stadium, half crimson and half burnt orange. It's during the week of the Texas State Fair, so there's not just the fanfare inside the stadium, it's outside as well. So that's those are my list of 5. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and give you the 2 honorable mentions that I had was, one, the Palmetto Bowl between Clemson and South Carolina. That one gets pretty heated. And, I learned a long time ago when I first moved to South Carolina, it didn't matter who you pulled for. You still had to pick between Clemson and Carolina.
That's right. I'm not even from here, and they still tell me I have to select who to cheer on.
Yeah, that's what I had to do too. And then, of course, my other one will be about the hat and the battle for the Commonwealth Cup between Virginia Tech and Virginia. It's been a better game here lately. But of course, we've had a few down years, but definitely one of those games that both teams get up for sure. And you always gotta pull for Enter Sandman coming out there. So
I'm going to tell you the truth, Shane. I actually use that song whenever I post about. We have an episode coming up. I posted on TikTok. That's the song I choose is Enter Sandman. I'm not even a Virginia Tech fan, but that makes you get pumped. You're like, let's go. I mean, I do got to tip my cap to South Carolina with their oh my God, remind me of the song that they played at Shane.
2001 Sandstorm.
Sandstorm, that's what it is. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
that gets me excited too.
That photo that I sent you about the U.S. going into the knockout round.
Yes, and they played it. That was awesome.
They need to come out the first half for the beginning of the game. They Enter Sandman.
Yep.
Do a full Penn State whiteout. Come out in the
second half doing the Sandstorm. Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Did you see the one where they're talking about wanting to do the tomahawk chop too? That people should do the tomahawk chop.
Oh yeah, well that, and I mean that's one thing that I think that this World Cup has kind of brought, since we're kind of the center of attention, and a lot of America's getting into it for the first time. I think it's brought where we can take these traditions that we're known for in these college football stadiums and stuff, and translate them now to soccer, to where we're not just copying a chant that another country had made up or something like that. It's like we've taken our culture and we've implanted it into soccer.
Absolutely. My five. So I have to mention this because just for obvious reasons. It's called the Battle of the Ninth Islands between Hawaii and UNLV. For people who don't know this, Las Vegas, Nevada has always been considered the ninth island for Hawaii. And so they actually have it's kind of like good grief, Phillips head screwdriver being stuck into like a brick or something. It's weird, but that's always a good rival. That's a lot of hatred. That and between UNLV and then in Fresno State and Hawaii, those two are the absolute craziest rivalries you would not expect. My next one, though, and I'm actually surprised Shane didn't mention this one, is Georgia and Georgia Tech. Obviously it's not been really a rivalry as of late. It's been more of a one-sided affair with UGA absolutely dominating the entire world basically over there. But that's a good rivalry there as well. And then the Iron Bowl. Between Auburn and Alabama. My favorite quote was, "Hey Nick, you got a second?" Shane, you know that term real well, don't you? My cousin Kevin has a shirt and it says Kevin is a massive. So my family's weird on this one. It's like 52% cheer on University of Alabama, and then like 43% cheer on Auburn, and then the rest is split amongst the rest of the state. But Kevin is a diehard Auburn fan, so he actually has a shirt. He wears it still, and it says, "Hey, Nick, you got a second?" We're referencing the Iron Bowl when Nick Saban elected to kick, was thinking like a 57-yard field goal, and then Davis returned the ball back 109 yards for a touchdown to end that game. That was a good rivalry there. Of course, Shane already mentioned it, is the backyard brawl between Pitt and West Virginia. And it's not solely based on the fact of the closeness, but it is, as Shane said, it is literal hate. Like they hate each other, even at basketball games. When they play Sweet Caroline, they still said they eat bleep bleep for it. So I'm not going to say because this is a G-rated show, but kind of get your form. If you want to go Google, you will see, just type in West Virginia and Pitt hate song, and you will hear it 100%. Let's see. There's another good rival, like I said, the Harvard-Yale. So that's one of the, if not the oldest rivalry in all of college football. That was one of the first ones that came about, was Yale and Harvard. So that's a good rivalry. Let's see. Then, as Shane mentioned, the Red River rivalry, Texas and Oklahoma. That's a good one.
Egg Bowl is another good one.
Yeah,
for honorable mention. It's one of those ones that where you're in a state, you got to pick one or the other, kind of basically. So that really creates a great rivalry atmosphere as well.
What about the Civil War between Oregon and Oregon State?
Oh yeah,
that's a good one, and that is bona fide hate as well. I know that they're trying to go away from that term, the Civil War, but whatever on that one. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, there's a few good ones. USC Notre Dame.
That was the one. It's called it's called it's called the Criminals and the, what do they call it? What is the nickname for it?
No, the Miami Notre Dame is the Catholics and the Convict.
Yeah. What is the one between USC and Notre Dame?
I'm not sure. If I want to say, it might be like America's rivalry or something like that.
That's a good rivalry, though. And then the Apples Cup or something between
Apple Cup.
Between Washington and Washington State. That's a good one. North Dakota State taking on South Dakota State. Montana State. That's a crazy rivalry, and they play it almost every time they play it is when it is a massive snowstorm. Have you ever noticed that too, Shane? It's always a snowstorm of like epic proportions between Montana and Montana State. And I mean, I love turning it on. I'm watching it, and it's like you can barely see this is how far you can even see the player, because it's so. I love it. Those kinds of things always, get me excited on those things. Matt is on his way home. He should be here momentarily. So let us know in the comments, what do you think is also a good rivalry in college football? We will share your answers absolutely. So the next topic is who do you think is the best college football team defensively of all time? And it's not the 1938 Tennessee Volunteers. However, that's pretty close. Yes. But they aren't the best. I do have the picture that tells you the best. The reason why I'm mentioning it is because this school was a D2 school at the time, and they beat perennial powerhouses. Shane, who do you think this university is?
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and say that you stumped me on this one.
Whoa. Wait.
Yeah,
Oh, darn, I don't have the breaking news skit
yeah.
anymore. I went dun, 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 dun. No, I love it.
I'm not sure about that, but if you want to go ahead and share who it is, and then I'll go ahead and after that we could get into some of the defenses that I think are worthy of the best of all time.
Of course. So the answer is the 1899 Sewanee Tigers. And I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see it. I'm looking at the TV right now, so I can see it. Look at who they beat, Shane. Georgia. They didn't allow a point. They beat Georgia Tech. They blanketed Tennessee. I had to look at this last one. That's Marist, by the way. The red team is Marist. And then they blanketed Texas. They beat Texas A&M. They handled Tulane. They beat LSU, and then they beat Ole Miss. This one was I do not know this last one from that they won 71-0. I don't know who that school is. I tried to look it up. I couldn't. It's blurry. If you look, it's very blurry.
Yeah.
But then they beat Auburn by a score of 11-10. That's actually the only points they allowed the entire season. But what do you see as the pattern there, Shane? They're all SEC teams that they absolutely, as Matt likes to say, they mollywop them.
Oh,
so
yeah,
this
SEC
is
or the old Southern Conference, however you want to look at it, is split between the two. And I mean, even the what was Texas, Big 12?
Yeah.
Kind of, but they were also one of the leaders of the Southern Conference. So yeah, these are kind of, all big time schools, especially, I mean, you got to think about it though. It's 1899. How many of these schools? What years were they in? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like how many
It's
years
still
have
crazy,
they been
though.
established? Yeah, it's very interesting. But how many years have a lot of those schools been established? Kind of deal.
Exactly. But what really gets me though is the fact that I'm gonna pull it back up here again. Whoops. No, let's pull it back up here again. Is the fact that they handled LSU like it was nothing. 34-0 over LSU. That's impressive in general. But then, you look, I mean, Marist is, they're predominantly a basketball program more so than football. But they won. They beat them 54-0. If you guys in the comments or whatever can read that team, it says something Phoenix. It's on the 11, I believe it's November the 20th. Is it? If you can tell us who that school is, let us know. But I mean, some of these matchups, I mean, obviously the last one where they won 5-0 against North Carolina, I mean, that's not saying much because it's North Carolina at the time. But I mean, just some of these matchups though, Shane. I mean,
but well, look at this. I just blew it up on the laptop over here and saw the Iron Man comment where they played 5 games in 6 days.
Yeah, that's
traveling
crazy too.
2,500 miles by train.
Yep, that's
in
a
the
lot.
1800s.
That's a lot.
Now that's, it's not like modern trains where you're going 55, 60.
Now you're going about 25 at most on a train.
So,
and they're still building the railway as you're riding the train. So it's not like it's an easy feat. So, you said you had some teams you'd like to mention. Obviously, I know I'm pretty sure one of them that you want to mention is the 38 Tennessee Volunteers, who didn't give up a single point the entire time. But that was also against their particular level. But the reason why this is considered the best is because they were a Division II team at the time. I think they're like NAIA now, and they still compete against big boy schools. So which one do you want to talk about, Shane?
Tennessee was not on my list. But I can tell you that much. Um, my list. You have the backyard brawlers, that 2001 Miami Hurricanes team.
Ooh, yeah, that
I
was a good
mean,
one.
you
Well,
have
it was the Miami in general.
yeah, but you had 21 players from that 2001 defense that saw action end up getting drafted into the pros.
Jeez, that's elite right there.
21 players. And if you look at it, you're only missing one from a complete two deep
Yeah, yeah.
roster just
Offense
on
and defense
defense.
right there. 22.
Well,
It's
well, well,
11 and
hold on,
11.
bro. You're talking about a two deep roster just on defense, 11 that
Mhm.
were selected in 21 and out of 22.
That's
So
insane.
that's insane. I mean, they allowed 9.5 points per game, but man, you've got a Hall of Famer almost at every level
Yep.
when you look at it with Warren Sapp, Ray Lewis, and Ed Reed. So that's arguably one of the best defense of all time. The second one I wanted to mention was the Saban-Tooth Tigers. That
It was what?
2011.
Yeah, 11 team, wasn't it?
Yeah. 2011 Bama defense, man. We all know Saban was meticulous in his game plans, and that defense knew how to execute those game plans.
Yep.
And so, it's definitely, one of those things where they had talent, and you had a few first round draft selections, but them as a unit under Nick Saban was just a master class what they put on the field. So I mean, 8.2 points per game, 183.6 yards per game.
That's crazy.
Is what they allowed an average. In the national championship, they shut out LSU 21-0. In that game, LSU did not make it past midfield that whole game.
That's insane. I mean, put that in perspective, folks.
Yes.
A football game is officially 60 minutes on the clock, but it's like a 3-hour match. They didn't give up. The other team getting across the 50-yard line the entire time.
Yes.
That is absolutely
in the national
bonkers.
championship that brings the two best teams of that.
I know,
season
right? What was the coach's name? Larry. It was Larry, wasn't it? Larry something. Oh gosh.
What? No.
Who was the coach at Miami again?
At Miami.
I can't remember his name.
Larry Brown.
No, he was the one that
Larry Brown.
He was the one that won that.
I forgot. I forgot. If you wouldn't have mentioned it, I would have known.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
So here's the names, but Ken Dorsey, Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, Andre Johnson, Ed Reed, Jeremy Shockey. That is an absolute stacked team.
Yep, and I'll go ahead and give you my last mention that I had, and this one will take it back a little bit.
Larry Coker, that's what it is, Larry Coker.
Okay, Larry Coker, yep. But this one will take it back a little bit, not all the way back to the 30s, as you were pointing out. But I'm going to go to the OG black shirt defense there for Nebraska Cornhuskers in
Nebraska was a team.
1971.
That was the perennial team.
Yeah, they allowed 8 points per game. They another team that could very well be mentioned on this list is the 71 Oklahoma Sooners.
Yep.
Who also had another great defense of all time. I think only giving up 8.8 points a game that year.
That's
but
insane.
In what was called the game of the century, they faced each other in 71. Nebraska ended up winning 35-31. If you take that Oklahoma game out of their statistics, they only gave up 6 points per game and 188 yards per game. So definitely something to look at. Of course, as we look into the older leagues and stuff like that, or the decades, you start looking at the different type of offense that was played and everything else. So, you go from a true run wishbone era to where it starts opening up, and those yards per game, kind of ballooned there from the mid '80s on forward.
Exactly.
So definitely. But one thing that I know we've all said and we can all agree with, um, every one of these teams that we've mentioned won a national championship.
Yep.
Defense is the key to
Defense
win
wins championships. Offense gets all the glory.
Yep. So,
Matt, let me ask you
going
this.
on, Matt.
It's good to see you, by the way. Let me ask you this. We're talking about the top. What was I said? The top 5 greatest defense, top defenses, college football defenses of all time, and obviously you can't use the 1938 Tennessee Volunteers. But I wanted to ask you, who do you think, Matt? Now we've already shown the picture, but who do you think is considered the greatest defensive college football team of all time? The reason why is at the time they were Division II is the reason why we're mentioning it. Just give me a couple guesses, Matt, without Googling, unless you have Googled. Give me some names that you think of. You're muted.
That's a good one, man.
And they you go all the way back as far as you want.
As far as I want, I'm gonna try to keep it recent, man. That 2019 Georgia defense was a really good defense, man. Travon Walker was on there, Quay Walker, Aziz Ajulari, Lewis Seen, Jordan Davis, all NFL guys, by the way. That was a good defense, man. You got that 2018 Clemson defense, man. That defense was crazy. Clinton Farrell was the 4th pick in the draft. Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins. I'm sorry. AJ Terrell. That was a good team too, man. 2016 Alabama. Reuben Foster.
Matt keeps saying close in time. Here's the answer, Matt.
Yeah.
This is the answer right here. It's the 1899 Sewanee Tigers. Now, I want you to look at these scores, Matt, okay? These are real. The reason why they are considered the perennial defensive team of all time is because they were a D2 school, and look at what they did. They gave up 10 points total the entire season. They shut out Georgia Tech, Tennessee, Marist. Well, that's Marist, by the way. That Marist lost 54-0, and then they shut out Texas. They shut out Texas A&M. They shut out Tulane. They shut out LSU. They shut out Ole Miss. I do not know who this team is that says Mercury. If you can find out what that is, I mean, Phoenix, it's the 11.
Are these legit scores?
Yes, this is legit scores. This is a legit school. This school now has gone down to NAIA. They still do play some FCS teams, and they actually beat them. But this is considered the greatest defensive team of all time, not the 1938 Tennessee Volunteers, which that's
crazy.
They were darn good. But I mean, think about this though. A Division II school, Matt, and they beat all these perennial teams. But then also, Shane pointed out, do you see what it says about the Ironman of 1899? They travel, Ironman of 1899, traveled 2,500 miles by train to play 5 games in 6 days. And that's insane to think about that for a second, especially back in that time with, they were still building the train tracks, and you don't go back then. You weren't going 60, 70 miles an hour train. They were going maybe 25 at best. So, I mean, they traveled that much. So I wanted everybody, I looked up like what are some of them, and Shane didn't mention some of them. The 1987 Miami Hurricanes, they went 12-0, and they gave up allowing 10.4 points a game, and they only got shut out one time. They shut out only once. 1991 Washington Huskies went 12-0, 9.5 points allowed. Then, as you mentioned, Clemson, but 1981 Clemson Tigers, they went 12-0 and averaged 8.8 points allowed. Then what I'm here really surprised you didn't mention is Desmond Howard's 97 Michigan Wolverines went 12-0, 9.5 points allowed. But then Shane mentioned it, with Alabama, but 1992 Alabama Crimson Tide, they went 13-0 and they allowed 9.4. Now Georgia is mentioned. The 2021 defense has been praised, but then Shane mentioned LSU's crazy runs, and then Alabama with the 2016, 17, 18, and 20. But now if you were to go purely based off of an SEC team, Tennessee is the team of all time, the defensive wise, 1938 Tennessee Volunteers. So that's pretty cool little interesting stat to find that though, isn't it, Matt? That you're seeing these teams. That first off, and I kid you not, I had to Google where this school was, and I've already forgotten where they were. But I have to find my notebook. I can't find it anywhere, but I wrote it down. But
you notice a Swanee over here in Georgia, man.
But that's not how you. That's
Swanee.
It's spelled different. Yeah, it's spelled totally different, 100%, man. But that's why
it's down in Louisiana. I can almost put
with the way it's pronounced is what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
It's actually spelled the way it's pronounced, unlike the Swanee here in the Atlanta area.
Swanee, there's like Sewanee is how they speak. Sewanee. There, it's like Sewanee is how it's spelled.
And for those who don't know, the great Lewis Williams, grew up playing basketball in Swanee as well. So for those who didn't know, South Gwinnett. You went to South Gwinnett.
Yeah, South Gwinnett. That's right. I was about to say North Gwinnett, but yeah, South Gwinnett. But yeah, that's pretty. I thought you guys were going to get a kick out of that one. That was a pretty interesting little stat.
Oh, it's Tennessee.
Oh, it's in Tennessee. Really?
Yeah. It's in Tennessee, and they still use the same S as the crest and logo. So
that's interesting. And the S, and if you look, it kind of looks like the old White Sox logo too for baseball. If you just kind of quick a glimpse, Matt, the first topic we talked about with college football rivalries, they hit differently. There are some really good rivalries between schools, and some of them have the absolute best ways to, quote, celebrate or chant their rivals. We've given ours. So I want you to give me and I even mentioned your school, by the way. I want you to give me your top 5 college football rivalries. I want you just to give me 5. I want to hear what your 5 are.
Oh man, of course I got to go UGA and Georgia Tech. Of course, I got to go there.
That's when you came on. We were talking about Georgia Tech, how they, as of late, it's been more of Georgia than Georgia Tech.
Yeah, absolutely. But Georgia Tech always sneaks down one, and whenever Georgia has like a dominant defense, Georgia Tech always.
And I want to mention this too. Last season, Matt and I were on the phone. We're like, we're about to see a major upset, and this is what Matt needs to realize. It's called the announcer's jinx. He said, at this rate, we're going to see a blowout, and then Georgia said, "Nope, hold my beer." And beat Georgia Tech. They were like down like 28 points or something. It was something ridiculous. When you and I, we spent on the phone the whole time talking about this.
Yeah, and remember the QB, man. I think he had a fumble or something at the end.
Yes.
It was something crazy. I didn't impress.
And Matt goes, "Are you?" And this is Matt's. This is absolute Matt's favorite quote. Really? Are you serious? Is what he said.
Yeah, really.
And I'm like,
really? This is what we're doing.
I was like, this is crazy. And then, of course, they came and he goes, if Georgia Tech loses this game, I'm going to lose my bleep. And I said, well, you better lose your bleep. And then they lost. So all right. So you said Georgia Tech. Give me other ones, Matt.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, of course, man. You got to go Michigan and Ohio State. You gotta go with them. That's always coaches have lost their jobs over that particular rivalry. You gotta also go. I like the I'm gonna say Alabama Auburn. Is that's ever since that was crazy.
Hey, I told Shane my cousin Kevin has that. Hey, Nick got a second shirt. For that one, so that's a good one. The Iron Bowl. What is another one?
I always like to watch Florida State play each other, man. But also the University of Washington and Oregon. That kind of, what they got over there back in the old Pac-10 days. That's all I can think of right now at the moment. I know there's one big one I'm missing. I know there's a big one I'm missing.
I'm surprised you didn't mention the backyard brawl between Pitt and West Virginia.
Them two. You have that too as well. Whenever I think of rivalries, I can't get Duke and North Carolina out of my head. I'm trying to get them out of my head. This is football.
Yeah, that's basketball. That's not really a rivalry in football.
Yeah.
That's one-sided affair.
Yeah. So those are.
But you know what I mentioned too to Shane? Montana State. And I said, no, it's so weird too, no matter what, Matt, and you probably see this too. When those two teams play, it always has this massive snowstorm. Every time Montana and Montana State play each other, you're always guaranteed a massive snowstorm. and it's also like 5 degrees when they're playing. So and that you always have those people who are wearing just their coveralls and no shirts, and I guarantee you they're freezing their what's off out there. So there's a lot of good rivalries out there, and the reason why I mention that is because this College World Series, you got to see a lot of great chants come about. Obviously with "Take Me Home, Country Roads" with West Virginia and everything, and then I remember when Pitt and West Virginia, and they sing "Sweet Caroline" and they say "Bleep Bleep Pitt." So I don't know why they have such massive hates, but if you people are watching in the stream, let us know why do the fans of Pitt and West Virginia hate each other so much they change one of Neil Diamond's songs to what it is. So let's go to the next topic. Now, who are some of the biggest? This is literally tethered for you, Matt. Who are some of the biggest NBA busts of all time? Now, look, there are some really good players who just didn't amount to anything. So what I want you to do is give me your top 4 NBA busts of all time. And I'm going to go right away to you, Matt, because you're our NBA guru. Give me your top 4 NBA busts of all time.
Ooh, my top 4 NBA busts of all time. Well, first you got to go Anthony Bennett. You got to go Anthony Bennett here, man.
I remember when they selected
in the draft where you had Andre Drummond. I mean, you had some. It was a weak draft, but you still had some solid players in there. You got to go Anthony Bennett. Did absolutely nothing in the league. Absolutely nothing.
He played 3 years total, didn't he?
Absolutely nothing in the league. Was picked first overall by the Cavaliers the year after they picked Kyrie, and he did nothing. So that'll be my first one. My second bust. Gotta go Kwame Brown. Although Kwame Brown had a solid, long NBA career, but not one of the first.
He was a solid role player.
Never lived up to the hype that he had.
Never lived up to the hype. And that's a draft where you had the 2000 draft. You had some people in there. I think Mike Miller ended up getting Rookie of the Year that year for the Magic.
That was Jordan's first pick too, in Washington, wasn't it?
That was Michael Jordan's first pick as a GM. Man, he picked Kwame Brown. And I think was Jordan still playing? Jordan was still playing.
Yeah, he was still playing. Yeah. It was his third time coming back.
Because didn't they shoot up in practice against each other?
Yep.
Something.
Of course, man. Of course, you got to go Sam Bowie, the second pick in the 1985 draft. After Hakeem Olajuwon was the first pick, first and foremost, and he deserved to be the first pick. So you're not going to take that away from Hakeem. But then Sam Bowie went to Portland when they should have grabbed Michael Jordan. They say we had Clyde Drexler, but you still grab Michael Jordan in that spot there, man. Another bust. Man, I can go for days with these, man.
Give me 2 more.
Okay, another bust. Let's go. I'm gonna go recent right now. Zachary Richer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that's just unacceptable. Your first player. Whenever you draft a player number 1 overall, the last thing you want to hear that player say is, "This league is bigger, stronger, faster than I thought. I don't know if I can keep up." So that's what he said. Then now you see what happens. We could have got Stephon Castle. We could have got anybody in that draft. I would have been happy with. Another one I'm gonna go with. As far as the number 1 pick, I'm going to. He didn't live up to the hype. I'm gonna go Andrea Bargnani. He got drafted first overall by the Toronto Raptors, man. I mean, he had a solid NBA career. I think he scored 15 points a game a couple of times, but again, nothing that your number 1 pick should do. So I'm gonna go Andrea Bargnani here, man, for the Toronto Raptors. And those are all number 1 picks. I think one of them wasn't a number 1 pick, but for the most part, they were all number 1 picks. Sam Bowie, he was the number 2 pick in the draft.
What about you, Shane? Give me your top 5 NBA bust of all time.
Well, I went with 4, but I could definitely do another one here. But one of my biggest ones is Hakeem Thabit.
Oh my God! Yes.
Overall, going to Memphis. Started 20 games his entire NBA career.
He never lived up to the hype of what he was.
Yeah, he averaged 2.2 points per game, 2.7 rebounds per game in his NBA career. He had scored 483 points in all his games that he ever played. And James Harden, who was selected right after him, scored 498 in an 11-game span. So, so that's definitely one bust. I had Anthony Bennett as another bust. He was the least successful out of any number one overall pick, as Matt mentioned. But his ceiling wasn't as high as what you would think a number one overall pick should be. So that's why he doesn't get a lot of attention.
That was right after LeBron left, wasn't it, too, Matt? He left to go to Miami.
2013, yeah.
Yeah, he had just left. I remember he had just left.
My number three is going to go out to unfortunately the hometown Charlotte team of that time in 2006 with their number 3 pick in the draft. They selected Adam Morrison.
That was
Mr. Mr. Crustache himself. Only had one injury, but never really was efficient. Was never efficient enough to be a pro. Ended his career with 37.3 field goal percentage. Yeah,
I mean, the thing about
that's field goal. That's field goal. That's not 3-point. That's field goal overall. That
was also when Gonzaga was starting to become a thing.
Yeah, he was kind of that first face of Gonzaga basketball in their upsets and stuff during that time. And one that I guess you could consider possibly the biggest bust of all time, based on just the hype alone he had coming into the draft. But Greg Oden in the year after Morrison, be it his was kind of plagued by injuries, and when you're that tall and that big, your knees can't stand it, can they, Brandon?
You know what?
But,
look, Matt's not that much shorter than me, by the way.
Well, I'm just saying, he hasn't had multiple knee surgeries either.
But mine's also because of torn ACL and MCL in basketball. But yeah,
football, yeah. Well, Greg did the same thing, but
Greg did a lot more than just that.
But as Matt mentioned, Portland has a thing for screwing up these picks.
That is definitely a true story.
You go look at it. They were 0 for 3 because they had LaRue Martin that they selected back in the 70s that didn't turn out to be anything based on his hype and everything in the draft. And then, of course, as Matt mentioned, Sam Bowie right there that was drafted just before Michael Jordan. And Portland screwed that one. So 0 for 3 on the big guys coming to Portland in those top draft picks.
Matt, I'm really surprised, Shane. I'm surprised you didn't mention this other one too. There's this one name that's floating around. Do you have one more you want to share, Shane?
Well, yeah, I was going to go ahead and do one more. Since
okay.
You said 5. I guess. Man, I'm going to go with Markelle Fulk. Going to Philly in that draft. That draft was uberly talented, and for the 76ers to make that trade up to get him, and for what he turned out to be for them, that one kind of gets me. And then you get the most recent one I would think would be considered draft bust would be Bagley the second.
Oh yeah,
Sacramento there.
I know who's Brandon gonna say. I don't think he's gonna say Brandon.
Matt knows who I'm gonna say. Then tell me who am I gonna say?
Because he was in the second greatest player ever's draft.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Xavier Henry.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't gonna mention Xavier Henry, but you can't. Xavier Henry was picked He was picked in the lottery. He was a lottery pick, and he was the number one player coming out of high school.
Everybody said that he was gonna be the greatest thing to come out of Memphis since sliced bread.
That is true, but I think him going to Kansas
he averaged 4 points a game in his NBA career. It was really abysmal.
Yeah.
So that's one. Greg Oden's another. Marvin Williams. That absolutely was. That was a draft that they literally could have grabbed any future Hall of Famer.
You needed a point guard, and that draft had 2 of them sitting right there with
Darren Williams and Chris Paul. You had your opportunity, and you chose Marvin
when we had
Williams.
Josh Smith and man, hey, man.
Yeah. So then there's that one, but then. Do you remember the center that was drafted out of Serbia, Matt? Played one NBA
Dark
game for how you say his name?
Darko Milicic.
Yeah, no.
Mm.
He played one game for the Boston Celtics and retired, lives in Serbia now. Never played basketball again.
Ooh, I know who you're talking about.
He was a 7-footer, big boy.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
That was the big bust. He was touted as the next Kevin Garnett because he was crafty. He could shoot. He could score. He could block. Everything imaginable. Because of the D is what, and they did a story on ESPN about him, and that I was like, oh man, that really was one of the bigger busts. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Give us your top 5 NBA busts of all time. All right, so the NHL is expanding, as we all know. It is going to Atlanta and Houston, but did you know there's also a third city being mentioned? And yes, it is absolutely gaining massive traction. So Gary Bettman came out and did say that they want to have 36 teams in the near future in the NHL. So we know that Atlanta and Houston are next. However, Austin, Texas is the next potential location, and it is so real that that they're actually the NHL Board of Governors is set to vote. I believe it's in 3 weeks. They're going to vote for all 3, and it's supposed to pass with all 3. You ready to hear how much it is to pay to have an expansion city in the NHL? It's unprecedented. $3.5 billion. Now, Matt knows this too because the soon-to-be new owner of the Atlanta franchise is spending $2.5 billion of his own money, which, by the way, he can write a check to the Sportz Nutz if he wants to. But $3.5 billion. So, Matt, I'm going to ask you this, and Shannon as well. I want you guys to give me 3 cities that you personally would like to see the NHL expand to next. And I'm going to start with you, Matt. Give me 3 cities you would love to see expand to next.
Oh man, 3 cities. I want to see. I want to see Alabama.
What part of Alabama, though?
It's something maybe more so more like Montgomery, like most around that area. I would like to see them have one because I feel they need a little bit more diversity in that whole culture.
Well, they have the Mobile Mystics coming back down in the professional hockey team coming back down in Mobile. So
that's good.
We have Montgomery. What's the next one you would like to see?
I want to see one in Seattle. Isn't there?
There's the Seattle Kraken.
The Kraken. Okay.
What about your favorite town, Boise?
Oh,
because Boise does have the Steelheads.
And I mean, Boise, their college football team kind of has that city on lock. See, I've been there. I've been to Boise before, so I've seen the kind of the aura of the city. I mean, everything's just blue and orange. They kind of have that city on lock, man. Everything is just Boise, Idaho football, Boise football. So I can't see them just coming with another sport. I don't see it. Beautiful city, by the way. But man, Alabama for sure. Maybe something south. Maybe I'll see something more south. Maybe another team in Texas. Louisiana doesn't have a team, do they?
No.
Yeah, Louisiana could definitely benefit from that too as well. So
those are the 3 that Matt is saying. So he's saying New Orleans. He says like Montgomery, and another team in Texas. So we're kind of trending in that term with Texas as you see Houston and Austin. What about you, Shane? Give me 3 cities you would like to see the NHL expand to.
I think I'm going to go kind of realistically here, and one kind of keeping the conferences and where the expansion teams have already been announced that they're going and kind of things like that. My one, I guess, to add to the Eastern Conference, because you'd probably take the Houston and the Atlanta team and add them to the Eastern side of things. Mine that I would add to the Eastern Conference Oh man, it's probably going to be Milwaukee.
Ooh,
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There's not a team in Wisconsin, so I definitely would see one
which is
going
weird too,
there.
because it's a hockey that literally is one of the best places to play hockey is Wisconsin, Minnesota, like that region there.
Oh yeah, so I think there, and then for my next two, I'm going to go out on the West Coast, and I'm going to say they bring back a Phoenix franchise.
I can see that
Um,
happening actually,
uh,
because there's a lot of
you,
traction on that too.
Yeah, and we see, there's been traction, with the announcement of Atlanta, getting back at a franchise. So you could see that, especially if they're talking about expansion. And then my next one, man, it's kind of a toss up. I guess would be kind of another Canadian team, but I'm not sure where you would think about putting one. Um, but I think Portland is a viable city for a franchise, keeping it out west. You've got that region kind of covered, almost like the NFL. If you put something out there in Portland, kind of give it that kind of equal, Western to Eastern conferences and stuff like that, the way they would line up with the future expansion. And shout out to the NHL. They're holding their draft tonight, and Gavin McKenna from Penn
Was number
State
one,
was number one overall to
which
the
you
Maple
knew that was
Leafs.
coming. If you didn't, you were living under a rock. You really did. That was look. You guys know I'm a diehard Tampa Bay Lightning fan. Dadgum, if Tampa had been able to pull the trigger, they would have gotten that pick. But I digress. I like your choices though. I really do. Mine, I'm kind of going along the same lines as you, Shane, with a West Coast team. What about Wyoming? Cody, Wyoming. Wyoming is a very beautiful state, and they absolutely support their football programs. They do have an ECHL team close to the Cody, Wyoming area, so that'd be pretty cool to see. Then go back to the East, and I'm going to go right along with you too, Matt. New Orleans. I would love to see hockey. And people say I don't think they really support it. I think they absolutely would. Times are different now, and you really only have the New Orleans Saints for professional. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say the New Orleans Pelicans is something you want to write home to mom about right now. What they haven't done anything since they've been New Orleans Pelicans. When they were the New Orleans Hornets, they were better, yes. So I could see New Orleans getting. I would like to see them get a franchise. My third one.
They could do something good and take the Arena Football League, the Voodoo mascot. And
Oh
do that with hockey.
yes,
That'd be
yes,
pretty sick.
that'd be pretty. I'd dig it. And then I'm gonna go with your route, Shane. Virginia. I know they have the Norfolk Tide, which is the ECHL franchise, but they could. Hockey just is different on the East Coast. So I could definitely see like Roanoke or actually I think that'd be the only place to see Roanoke because it's a illustrious, vibrous town. That would be mine.
You got Richmond too that you would think about just because of their infrastructure that they have there already set up.
There's a lot of good opportunities out there, but yet the NHL is expanding. We will know within the next 2 to 3 weeks if all three have been approved. Right now, Atlanta is the only one that has been certified approved, but Houston is like 98% lock, and Austin is like 98% lock. So stay tuned. We will have that for you. And now comes the time, where we give you our sports story segment. We show love to a sports story. And Shane, give us your sports story.
My sports story is drafted, but staying in college is the title of it. Matt, you're probably going to have to help me out with this name, but Narcisse Nagoy was the 57th pick. Did I do all right?
I think you did just fine there, buddy.
Okay, but he was the 57th pick this past week in the 2026 NBA draft, selected by the LA Clippers. Just a little hiccup with that. He intends to honor his commitment to Auburn Tigers, playing his 2026-27 season there. It's kind of one of those things. He actually turns 22 this summer, so he's automatically eligible for the draft. And so that's why his name was in there. And with that being said, because he's still he was automatically enrolled in the draft, he still has his college eligibility left that he can go back on, and he said that he's going to do that. With the pick, the Clippers are kind of basically doing a draft and stash. Is what they call it. Was mainly used for a lot of international players here lately, where they would draft them, and they would, once their career peaked in the European leagues or the league that they're in, they transfer over to the NBA. So they plan on doing that. If he does go to Auburn, he will be the first player in the modern draft era to opt out and play college ball immediately after being drafted. There was another guy from Europe, I believe, that entered into the draft this year and was selected by the Knicks. He cannot go back to college because he voluntarily came into the draft at the age of 20. So that's kind of the difference between those two. But, with the rising salaries and NIL money in college athletics, with more international players also coming to play in college athletics, it's made this kind of draft and stash deal kind of prevalent. And we'll see how it kind of works out, and seeing if it's a viable option for some NBA teams here leading into the near future.
I dig it. Mine is about Brandon Sorensby. Boy, when they say when it rains, it pours. Well, now not only did the NFL say hot no, well, the Canadian Football League has said ha ha.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought the NFL said no.
The newest one also, though, is the Indoor Football League said they don't want him in there. So when you're now having every league has said thanks but no thanks, your entire sporting career, just think about what it could have been had you just not done the stupid gambling. And then he thought he was above the law, and
but we got a degree.
I don't know. He thought he was above the law, and he challenged all his mistakes and said, "Yeah, I made mistakes, but I deserve to play because I'm Brandon Sorensby and I deserve it." And
doesn't that sound like Maurice Claret?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
But once you burn one bridge, you're burning them all.
You burn them all. Yep. I mean, and it's pretty bad when you have a league like the Indoor Football League saying, "Don't even call us." That's when you know.
And
it's done messed up, Aaron.
It's not like he wasn't a great talent. I mean, Texas Tech was about to pay him millions of dollars for 1 year of college football.
Yep.
He didn't
think clearly. He thought
of money went to his head.
I was just about to say it went to his head, but it didn't go to the right head. Leave it there. Matt, give us your sports story. Matt's laughing. I mean, that was pretty good, right? That was a little transition there.
Okay. Yeah, it was unexpected from you, man. Nah, man. My sports story, man. I'm sorry, but I've got to call out the Charlotte Hornets, man, because once again, this organization has shown exactly why it's been stuck in mediocrity for decades. You draft the talent, in LaMelo Ball. He wins Rookie of the Year, becomes an all-star, puts your franchise back on the national map, sells tickets, sells jerseys, and give the fans a reason to care again. And instead of building a legitimate contender around them, you trade them away. Now don't get me wrong. LaMelo had his injury concerns. Nobody's denying that. He missed games. And availability does matter. But whose job, was it to surround him with the right roster? Whose job was it to hire the right coaches, develop talent, and create a winning culture? That's when the Hornets front office, not LaMelo Ball. So, instead of instead of proving that they could build around a star, Charlotte waved the white flag and hit the reset button again. Now I get it. They want to invest in Concanapple and Brandon Miller. They want to invest in them and use the money for elsewhere. And Nas Reed is not a bad piece.
But they got a boatload of picks.
They got no, they didn't. They got one pick and then they got 3 pick swaps.
Yeah,
that's
a lot.
No, they got 3 second rounds too.
Yeah, they got a lot of picks. Yeah. There's a lot of picks.
They got 3 second rounds. They swapped first round picks,
and then they have unprotected first round picks.
Yeah, what they got swaps again. There's the swaps with
they only got one unprotected first round pick
with the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves are going to make the playoffs. So those picks mean nothing because the Wolves are going to make the playoffs.
You know what they're doing though is because they want to keep Anthony Edwards there.
They are, and I have no problem with that, man. So Minnesota gets a chance to pair one of the league's most creative playmakers with Anthony Edwards. So if LaMelo stays healthy and the Timberwolves make a deep playoff run, Hornets fans are going to be asking the same question they've been asking for years: why does every star seem to flourish after leaving Charlotte? Until this franchise. Go ahead.
I don't mind the move though.
I mean, I get it.
I can't stand the Ball family in general.
Well, I don't mind the move because you bring Nas in, and that's a defensive wing. The pairing with that front court, and you sign Kobe White, and you get $41 million of cap space.
But it's a $41 million
out of the luxury tax.
It's a trade exception. It's a trade exception.
But
95% of trade exceptions aren't used.
Yeah, but that still opens up with the possibility for.
But it's taking him out of a super luxury to a regular luxury.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown makes more than $41 million, man. You have to move a lot of things around.
But it still makes it plausible for them to go out and try.
It does. But but the thing about the Hornets is the way they played. Their identity was LaMelo Ball. That was the identity of the team. The up and down, just the play style. That was LaMelo Ball. So now you're changing your whole identity, and I get it. They want Concanapple to be the face of that franchise. I get it. That is a bad boy, but let's not forget at all that. Well, I like to listen to the city's radio stations. So whenever a trade happens, so I was listening to Charlotte's radio station, and they were
they were mad as all get out.
They were just oh my god.
People were talking about burning the season tickets.
But they had one of the beat writers on, and he told me that out of all of Concanapple's shots, 90% of his open shots came from the LaMelo Ball.
Our guy Desmond said, he does the Tobacco Road podcast. Our guy Desmond said the exact same thing, that he understands. He's had time to think about it. He understands what they were doing, but he still thinks that it was a boneheaded decision for the Hornets to get rid of a playmaker. And that is the only playmaker I will give the Ball family props on is LaMelo Ball. I will not do it with any other body, especially the dad. I just know. I'm not. No.
Yeah, that's my kind of take on that, man. So yeah, Shane, I know it's your squad. I know you're trying to look at the glass half empty. I get it.
No, I questioned it. I questioned it when it first came out. Then I started reading up on it a little bit. And if you're trying to do what they're doing, I mean, in the past, other than last year, the 2 years before that, Ball played 30 games.
Yeah, I mean he's missed some games, but last year he played the most games he's played in the season, 72. He missed 10 games, which is crazy. He's been in the league 6 years, and 72 is the highest that he's ever played.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So I get it. So I mean, hey man, only time will tell. Time will tell. I think both teams, realistically, the Hornets. My issue take with them is, how are you going to do this after you've had the best season you've had in a long time? So the Hornets really had to say, okay, we've gotten to the play-in 3 times with him. We're not going to get further than that.
They feel like they plateaued with him.
Yeah. So I can see that, but I don't think they got a fair return. I don't think they got a fair return. Again, we're talking about pick swaps here, man. When Minnesota's going to make the playoffs, every time. Minnesota is going to finish with a better record than the Hornets the next 4 years.
And do you think you're going to get a secure first round pick? You're not.
But yet also you look at it, the Hornets, if they could make one move, are also in the East, which is an easier division to bump them up in standings according to the draft. So I look at it, the Hornets in the East, Minnesota in the West. Minnesota is that 6-7 range. If Charlotte puts a piece together, they're in that 4 or 5 range in the East. Those kind of equal levels to me, in my eyes. If you look at the two divisions, so we'll see what it produces in the future and what other moves can be made, because we still got how long to the season, Matt?
Ooh, we got until like the first week of October.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this though, at least you guys didn't do the Atlanta thing and go draft a 6'7" center and say go compete against me.
I'm gonna go ahead and log out after that one.
No, I'm serious. At least we do that. All right. Now comes everybody's favorite segment, the Yes, it's the honorable mentions. We're going to share some love between 2 and 5 sports stories that just don't get it. We do. We'll give it, though. My first honorable mention goes out to Marina Marbury for scoring 53 points in a WNBA game, and it was tied for the most points ever. And by the way, she plays for the Toronto Tempo. So congratulations to her for scoring 53 points. That's pretty impressive. Shane, give us your first honorable mention, please.
My first honorable mention is going to go out to Alex Freeman, the defender for the U.S. national soccer team. A couple facts that I've found out this week, with the World Cup going on and a lot of, attention on America and their first 2-game performance. They tried last night and waited to the final kick to finally lose one.
Literally.
Found out this week that Alex Freeman is the youngest player on the squad at 21 years old, but is also the son of former Virginia Tech and Green Bay Packer great Antonio Freeman. Shout out to the U.S. men's national team for, advancing to the round of 32, winning their group. And Alex Freeman, you are on my radar now, especially knowing those facts.
If we could get Antonio Freeman on the show, that'd be epic. I would love to ask him what was like when they tried to say that you had an incomplete pass, but you literally had it on your foot. I would love to ask him that question. That would be one of the best. Matt, give us your first honorable mention.
As you guys know, the NBA draft just came and went. I didn't know that they were going to make the second round a whole day in itself. That's crazy. Man, gotta give a shout out to AJ DeBonta. He knew he was going to be the number 1 pick all the whole time. He
had said though, they asked him, when did you get the call? And he said, I actually gave my phone to my dad, so I wouldn't get the call.
Yeah. So he's been a very confident kid, man. Very confident kid. But I say that to say this. This honorable mention is really going to go to Trae Young because AJ DeBonta went on a sports talk show or whatever. It said, "Oh yeah, Trae's going to have to give up that number 3."
Yes, he has been saying that since day one.
AJ DeBonta will be wearing number 4, folks. Trae Young did not give up that number, so shout out to Trae Young, man, for letting the rookie know that there's levels to this.
I want to tag along on that too. The draft was actually pretty decent. I was really shocked that Phylon fell as low as he did. But did you guys see he has the absolute worst poker face known to man? They pulled the camera on him and he's smiling and dabbing it up. And I'm talking to our buddy Mark. And I'm like, he's getting selected here. He's like, yep, he's going to Philadelphia. And I'm excited about it. And I'm like, he can, and he's all like giddy and just bouncing around. He went from stoic face to so you knew right away he was getting selected by Philadelphia 76ers. And Cassie goes, why is he so excited? And I go, because he's getting selected. She's like, really? And I was like, yeah, he has the absolute worst poker face. And he got selected. So I often wonder if teams knew something we didn't know about, and that's why he fell so late, because he was projected a top lottery pick. And how do you say his first name, Matt? Lebanon? Lebanon, Phylon or whatever.
LeBaron.
Yeah,
LeBaron.
Phylon.
LeBaron fine line. Yeah.
But
he fell to 20, but I think he went with a good organization. He got with the Sixers, man. So
yeah,
he'll be all right.
he's been playing right beside Tyrese Maxey. My second honorable mention goes out to the Utah Talons of the AUSL League, by the way. Best team in the league. Also want to give a shout out to the Carolina Blaze. They're the second best team. And I'm ready to see it. I know we have to wait another year to 2028, but I'm ready to see expansion coming in for AUSL. I'm really enjoying it. We watch it every night, so really enjoying it. Shane, give us your second honorable mention, please.
My second honorable mention is going to go to former Daytona 500 winner and NASCAR great Ryan Newman. Rocket Ryan is going to be joining Colleague Racing in the number 25 Dodge Ram for the truck race on July 18th there in North Wilkesboro. The 25 truck is one of those trucks that Colleague has, and they've rotated drivers throughout that seat, and so Ryan Newman's just a long list of those the likes of Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer, AJ Allmendinger. There's been a few. Jamie McMurray climbed back into it most recently. So definitely great to see Ryan Newman getting back on the track, and we'll see what he can do there in the truck series come July.
Amen. Matt, give us your second honorable mention, please.
My second honorable mention is going to go to the man with the best agent has ever graced this sport, any of all sports. Kirk Cousins, guys, named the starter of the Raiders. He will be starting, and the Raiders are going to bring Fernando Mendoza along slowly, which I think is a great idea. So I got to give it to Kirk O'Chains, man. As you guys saw that new Step Brother commercial, him and Fernando guy.
Yes.
You call me Kirk O'Chains.
Yeah.
So
all the schedule release skits were perfect, by the way.
Oh man, yeah. So shout out to Kirk Cousins, man. Again, starter for the Raiders, man, and he knows what his role is. He knows that he finessed himself into a bunch of good contracts, so he can kind of ease up with this and just kind of retire gracefully.
He knows he ain't gonna win nothing in Vegas. I mean, let's just be real. When was the last time the Raiders was Rich Gannon? Just pointing that out there, folks. But yes, my favorite skit, though, by the way, Matt, was definitely Atlanta Falcons when they did the This Is Sports Center style with all of them. I loved it. And they had that. My favorite one out of, though, is when they had that guy walk up and it says, Bijan, B. John, and it says, B. And he goes, no, come back. And he goes, I'll try again next time. And I'm like, that was perfect. Because it's either Bijan, B. John. So, I mean, it's this whatever he wants to be called by. But I loved those skits. That was pretty, and the Vegas one was pretty good too, where they did the Step Brothers. I liked it. My third honorable mention goes out to the one, the only Trae Young for signing a 4-year, $212 million max deal to stay with the Wizards. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this report about Anthony Davis wants a max contract extension and has said if he is not offered it before the start of this season, he is going to request a trade. The dumb get dumber. That's just all I got to say about Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
Mr. Street Clothes himself.
Shane, give us your third honorable mention, please.
My third honorable mention is going to go out to a former Brave and current Chicago Cub shortstop, Dansby Swanson. News hit today that the Mets fired their coach, and this is coming on the heels of the Cubs playing the Mets 3 games in 2 days on Wednesday and Thursday, and Dansby might be the whole reason why he was fired, because in those 3 games, Dansby Swanson was 7 for 12 with 1 double, 1 triple, 3 home runs, 4 runs scored, and 15 RBIs.
Jeez, he ate them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes, he
and dessert.
Dansby?
Yeah, Dansby Swanson.
He jumped his OPS on the season from 618 all the way to 688, a 70-point jump in a matter of 2 days.
That's insane.
Dansby Swanson, ladies and gentlemen, the man that just saved many people's parlays.
Yes. So definitely congrats to Dansby on a great series there against the Mets, and best of luck to the Mets in their search for a new manager, or you want to call them a fireman, to put out that fire in the dumpster that they got going on.
I love it. Matt, give us your third honorable mention.
Yeah, this will be my third and final one, guys. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they traded their the best shooter on their team, best 3-point shooter on their team, Isaiah Joe, to the Pistons for 2 second-round picks. I mean, the one thing the Pistons were missing was what, guys? 3-point shooting. So, Isaiah Joe looks to come in and help him out, man, in that regard, help space the floor, help give Gay Cunningham a little bit more space for him to do a slow dribble thing, man. So, shout out to Isaiah Joe, but also shout out to these Thunder bench players, man, who are getting traded away and finding roles on other teams. I think the Hawks just got a player that came from the Thunder too as well. So shout out to these Thunder organization, man, and they also had a good draft too. So
yeah, the one center that Atlanta could have used,
Adamar
goes to them.
Yeah.
Go figure, right? It's Atlanta doing Atlanta things.
Well, hey, Kingston Flemings is legit.
Yeah,
he's legit now. So he's legit. So,
and did you see the center we got as well from North Carolina? He's a good. He's a darn good center.
Yeah, I'm shocked he last NFL. He'll be starting for us. I would say midway through the season.
I think Okongwu's time is coming to an end. I really do.
He's more of a power forward though.
Yeah,
man. He's more of a power forward. So
it showed. He got eaten up in the postseason.
Yeah, but he can shoot. Okongwu got a shot now, man. So I mean, it would be a good and pick and pop situation. So I think it'd be a great power forward for the team. With him and Kingston Fleming's a great pick and roll thing.
My fourth and final honorable mention goes out to our guy Anthony McCulley for our website team, and the reason why is he's got the privilege of saying he has the first interview officially for nuttysportstalk.com. On Monday, he was slated to do today, but she had practice went late, so he is interviewing our good friend Addison Burleson, who plays professional basketball overseas. She's actually coming to the States for a few months, but he's going to be interviewing her on Monday. Shane, do you have another honorable mention?
Yeah, my last honorable mention is going to go to Brian White. Monday, it was announced that he will be the next athletic director at Virginia Tech. Was with Florida Atlantic since 2018. Kind of understands the landscape of the way college ball is going now, and the current what you kind of need. A fun fact that I learned about him for sure: his dad was a former athletic director at Duke. His brother Danny is the athletic director at Tennessee, and his other brother, Mike White, is the head men's basketball coach at Georgia. So as a family, he's been around it for a while and kind of knows, and says that Virginia Tech could be one of the elite programs in the nation. Got the foundation. So, with that announcement, I'm definitely excited for this coming 2026-27 college, athletic season.
I like it. Hey, I want to make a mention. This was actually really special. Everybody, if you don't know this, who Matthew Goudreau was, so he was an NHL player. They named so his sister Katie Goudreau named her son Matthew Guy Joyce after her brother Matthew Goudreau, who unfortunately met his demise due to a car accident. So really sad situation there. But y'all, this was absolutely a fun episode. It's always just fun talking with everybody. We hope you guys got informed just the way we were informed whenever we do these episodes. Speaking of episodes, here's a list of the next few episodes. Episode 241 will be Tuesday, June the 30th. And then the big one, 242, will be Friday, July the 3rd. It is the best guest of the Sportz Nuts. There will be no sports talk. It's just going to be all of our guests that we've had. It's about 35 are going to come on and tell us how their journey is going since coming on our show. And then episode 244 will be Friday, July the 10th. Excuse me, I skipped one. 243 will be, I'm going to have it mentioned here. I forgot to edit out. It will be July the 6th. Tony Feely, the public address announcer for the Memphis Redbirds, the AAA affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, is coming on. 244 will be Friday, July the 10th. 245 will be Tuesday, July the 14th. Also, please make sure you follow us on all of our socials for the latest breaking news in sports and to find out more about who our website team is and who they will be interviewing. nuttysportstalk.com. As you guys know, it is live, but it's about to get revamped completely. Mark and I are actually meeting up soon to get everything finalized, the details and everything. So you'll have the latest news, stories, possible highlights. You'll catch up on all of our favorite episodes, as well as shorts. Speaking of which, there's 3 new shorts that have been released. Check them out on our YouTube page. There will also be a sports store for you can purchase your Sportz Nutz memorabilia and a whole lot more. Also, if you are interested in learning more about how to sponsor us, we are accepting sponsors. Send myself, Matt, Shane, or Ben a message today, and we will get you in touch. We will get in touch with you and give you the packages we have. Also want to remind everybody about every Wednesday until the end of FIFA World Cup time. Myself and our good friend John from the Pitch Grid are teaming up together for our FIFA World Cup recap. It is actually, we didn't do it last week because of a lot of things, but we're doing it tomorrow, this coming Wednesday. So John and I have already built the show. We're really excited about it, so definitely tune in. So with that being said, for everybody who tuned into our show tonight, our international audience, and as well as listen to on all the radio stations we air on, we thank you guys so much. Matt, give your final goodbyes, please, sir.
Absolutely, man. End of the week here, guys. Let's go ahead and make good decisions, good sound adult decisions here. Don't get flagged again with life. You don't want the whoops, catch up behind you, man, and have you sitting in that holding cell, man, until Monday. So let's make smart decisions, man. Don't get flagged again in life. Absolutely.
Shane, give your final goodbyes, please.
Oh yeah, well, we made it through another week. As Matt mentioned, the weekend is upon us. I'll be got some big plans tomorrow, but I'll be peeking in, watching the World Cup and any other sport that's on this weekend. So as always, man, we appreciate everybody, all the fans and the support that we do have. We love you all, and may the good Lord bless you. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
Yes, peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed. And as I always tell you guys, peace up, A-Town down, why it's the greatest sports city there ever was. Hey, you guys have a fantastic weekend. It is going to be hot, so stay hydrated. Go to your local watering hole, swim, do whatever. Just stay cool. It's going to be hot. Till then, guys, you have a fantastic.
There's more than one kind of watering hole now.
We're not talking about the drinking water hole. We're talking about like a pool, lake, stream, whatever there is. But you guys have a great weekend. We'll be back with you on Tuesday. Until then, enjoy this amazing outro, and we'll talk to you soon. And as always, goodbye.